Hi, I'm Ray Basri and I'm a physician in New York. I'd like to talk a bit about how we're going to resume our normal activities after coming out of isolation and talk a bit about summer plans. So one thing I'd like to predicate this discussion on is how do we know that it's safe to come out of isolation? And as I said in an earlier video, it's when we know that we have IgG antibodies. It's from a blood draw. That test will show that we have some degree of immunity against the COVID virus. It probably won't be able to reinfect us for at least a year. With that being said, the other test which a lot of people have had is the swab, and the nasopharyngeal swab is looking for shedding viral particles during the acute infection. So let's assume that you want to just know, hey, I didn't get the swab, but I think I was sick. Is it safe for me to leave isolation? Then you go for the IgG antibody test. It's a blood draw, and if that's positive and you have no symptoms for at least a week, you're good to resume regular activities. Of course, we're all going to continue to use respiratory protection. We're going to use social distancing through the foreseeable future, but at least we know what our immune status is. If we get enough people with good immunity for COVID to get the test, they can return to the workplace and we can start to resume some of the normal aspects of our life and our economy. So if we want to talk about what to expect during the summer, don't expect that you're going to be in large crowds, shoulder to shoulder with other people. Social distancing will still be in effect, so that's not going to work. But what we can look forward to is going to the beach, laying our blankets out, a safe distance from each other. If you go, with your family, obviously your family are people that you've already been in isolation with, so you can be in close contact with them, but basically you're not going to be face-to-face with other people unless you have respiratory protection on. As far as swimming, being outdoors, going to parks, things like that, so long as you're about 6 feet away, being outdoors is a pretty safe environment. It's because there's circulating air. So whatever particles of virus are in the air will be mitigated and dispersed by being in outside with the slight breeze, and everything then becomes quite safe to be outdoors during activities. If we look at air travel, that is going to be a little problematic because when we fly, usually there are lines, so maintaining a safe distance is a little difficult. When we're on an airplane, we may be wearing a mask, that's possible. But the commercial airliners all have HEPA filters in their circulating air systems. The air is recycled approximately every 90 seconds to 2 minutes throughout the aircraft, goes through a HEPA filter that will take out any viral particles. So it's actually one of the safer places to be. Now let's look at, once you get to your destination, you want to go out for a meal, you go to a restaurant, those circulation systems, those air circulation systems in the restaurants are not the same as an airplane. They don't have HEPA filters. They just tend to take air and circulate it around the room rather than filtering it. So that's where there may be problems. We know that there was some science done, a study done in China that showed that one person visiting a restaurant was able to infect 9 other people during one meal. So that may be a situation where we look for upgraded air filtration systems in restaurants or social distancing while we're in a restaurant. Again, if we know that our immune status is good, that we already have antibodies, we don't have to worry about ourselves. And after that week, we don't need to worry about transmitting the viral particles because we're over the illness. That's the government standard right now, and I think that that's a really good starting place for us. This week, Georgia started to open up its businesses, stores, beauty salons, hairdressers, barbershops to normal activity. So we're going to wait and see what that looks like as we see if the rate of infection increases or not. But I think we're at the point now where we're looking at mid to late May for most of the Northeast opening up to pretty much normal activity with social distancing and with face masks in place. So I think summer plans are going to be, if you want to travel, it's good to make some plans now. I think that you can safely travel. We're going to be wearing respiratory protection for the foreseeable future, but we should be optimistic about a return to relatively normal life in the near future. Thanks so much for watching this video, and please sign up for my YouTube channel, and I appreciate you watching. Stay well. Ray Basri, thanks.